So this is kind of a fork of another talk. I was really wanted to talk about using KPIs, key performance indicators, as a way of determining whether something got better or not when we make change. And a lot of times we claim that we want to make something better, and we declare all these features about what it's going to be, but the key performance indicators, the measures in the dashboarding and the reporting, a lot of times happens at the end. And so stuff, really bad things happen, or we just don't know when to stop. So I'm going to say maybe we take a little bit more agile-ish approach, and we start with the indicators. What are the measures we need? What's the goal? Not just what the feature is. I want the users to be able to enter blah, blah, blah. No, it's I want the addresses to be found 92% of the time, and I want them to be able to point out where they are within 20 seconds or less this amount of the time. And so that drives the design. We might change the design based on the key performance indicators. Whereas the other way, a lot of times we'll start with a design and then we'll kind of back in to the dashboard and figuring out whether it worked or not. So I did another talk on tech platform only updates. And so in this diagram, the green and the blue represent technical KPIs. Some people don't believe in those. They just push that off to the tech team. But I'm going to say there are technical key performance indicators, uptime performance, latency, those kinds of things. Those would be non-functional requirements driving those. And then we have business KPIs, yellow, orange, and red here. And so we've got an existing system, which I'm assuming is well instrumented and has controls around it. And we know how it behaves. And it's not a surprise every morning what it's doing. And so again, if we do a tech platform only change, our goal there is to make a technology change and break nothing. And so we're going to use the existing test suite and the existing KPIs to determine, and the success of the project is solely determined by the KPIs. All right, there's not other soft, weird criteria. It was, hey, we needed the ability to change this platform so that we could, well, in my case, I want to do it so that I can only build one mobile interface maybe on Flutter, but it would be the same thing with, something else, right? There are a bunch of cases where you would do a platform change for some reason. Vendor goes out of business, and you're like, man, the vendor's going out of business. We got to be on another platform, or they don't work in the cloud, and we've decided to move to the cloud. But in this case, we're going to do a platform change first. And so no real metrics changes there, right? And then if we're going to do a system change, we should, in the system change, we're going to do a re-engineering, no business change. You almost never do this because everybody wants their money's worth. And yet it turns out we make it, when you do process re-engineering and system changes at the same time, you square the complexity at least. And so that comes with its own trade-offs. But if we did a system change, the technical key performance indicators would hopefully change. These might be latency and throughput, or they might be some uptime piece or whatever. So we made a system change to make those things more reliable, have fewer break-ins, we have fewer, anyway. The other one would be a process re-engineering, right? And the goal there was, in this case, what I tried to show with the sample was we had 3 business key performance indicators, and 2 of those needed to be improved by the process re-engineering. One is going to be the same, and we added a new process, so we're going to add a new KPI. Right? And the KPIs are identified up front, and they're taken into account early in the process. Usually the way this works is we get behind, we do a bunch of features, we do a bunch of demos, not me, other people, not my team, other teams, not my company, other companies, but we do that, right? And so then we get behind, and at the end we're like, is it working? I don't know. We didn't do the dashboard. So if we were to take a KPI early approach, we look at what we have for existing. If we're in a greenfield, we would build a new set. We identify what new KPIs are going to be and what the targets of the existing, and that's how we know whether we have success, right? And then if we're doing systems, if you did the whole big bang thing, global thing, where to justify the project, you were going to do you did a process re-engineering for the business and you slid a system change in under the hood, right? Because you just had to, and it was the only way you could get the money to make it happen. Then you end up with KPI changes everywhere. Right. And so the question, and you got to pick those up early, figure out what they're going to be, and then set up around that. So that's really all I have for this talk is think about a different approach. Instead of just the list bag of features, a KPI driven approach, and then figure out what KPIs you really want to change. That determines whether you're going to do it. The KPIs determine whether you're going to do a tech platform change, system change, or a process re-engineering change, or whether you're going to do a combination of those. And then you can do a risk estimate and a value estimate with that, and you'll have an idea how to measure your progress as you go. Have a great day.